Okay, so it used to be 369 days in a year. That took 4 days from the month of February because that was the first month that was introduced to the water. The Bermuda Triangle used to be 4. They took the water away from everybody. When you give birth as a baby, your water is not, the mother's water is not supposed to break. It's supposed to be consumed by the baby. When that water is consumed by the baby, that's when you're supposed to know that the baby is ready to join us or come into this world. The water is not supposed to break. And when I say the water, I'm talking about the zodiac signs, the Pisces. That's the first introduction to the water. You're supposed to have all 4 elements within that baby before they're born into this world. So currently it's 365 days in a year, right? But every 4 years it skips 366. There's supposed to be 369 days in a year, yearly, every year. They fucked it up for a reason, to completely ruin everybody's DNA. If you break that down in numerology, you have to bring everything together and make it to its simplest form, which is a singular number, which is the master number. So you can go ahead and screenshot this if you want to. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. There you go. So when you break down 365, it becomes a 5, which means you only have 5 of your senses. But every 4 years, some people can get their other sense. That's why 2020 was so special. It was the 4th year. So that year, that whole 2012 thing, y'all remember that? When they were trying to do it, said the world was about to end? This is 2012. They reversed it. 2012 is 2021. And it's not, it just means that you're gonna it's the new earth. That's it. That's all it means. It's like, it's not even a new earth, it's the old earth. How earth was before. They just try to put fear into people and say like, oh, the world about to end type of shit. So the motherfuckers get scared when people start talking about it. They want you to stay in a state of fear. Because when you're in a state of fear, you are depressed. When you are depressed, you can be fed off of. They feed off of your depressed energy. Whenever you still have energy, even if you're not using it, you still have energy. They feed off your depressed energy. That's why they do that. The idea of depression is not a bad thing. You're supposed to be depressed sometimes. Depressed is only just sadness. That is what it is. But you're supposed to feel like that, so when you come out of it, you become a better person. It is depression, compression, and then expression. That is how it works. But if you stay within that realm of always being depressed, and being depressed is just sadness. Being depressed is just that, just sadness. Or just never, getting past that hump, or even trying to compress it or realize the reason why you are depressed. If you never ask the reason why, you're going to be depressed about whatever that situation is for the rest of your life. It's supposed to be depression, compression, and then expression. That is how it works. I want to make sure that I'm not being, insensitive to the people who are, depressed or suffering from any kind of sadness in any kind of way. I've suffered from this shit my whole life. I still go through it within my life. But the thing that helps me the most to be able to, get through that and get through those times is when I come out of this, I'm going to be a better person. And once I recognize like, damn, I am sad right now, or damn, I feel like this right now, I always ask the question, why? If you never ask, why you are sad, or if you never ask the question why, and you just wait for it to pass you by, it's going to come back, and it's going to come back even stronger until you realize you have to address it. If you never address it, it's going to come back every single. I'm going to elaborate more on the reason why I was depressed my whole life. But the main reason why I was depressed my whole life was because I felt like I was gonna be alone for the rest of my life. Like I wasn't gonna be able to find nobody or be with anybody, and I was just gonna be by myself for the rest of my life. Yeah, and I know, like, yeah, that sounds crazy, like, oh, but the idea of it for a long time for me, it was like, dog, you don't know how many fucking nights and days and hours I cried about that shit. I'm about to do it right now. But you don't know how many hours, you don't know how many times I cried about that shit, of being alone for the rest of my life. So I want to give this to opportunity for people to, start speaking about their own situations, and, because that's the only way you'll be able to get out of it. You're a social being. You have to speak about your situations with other people, and those people will help you get through it. So if you need somebody to talk to it, the main reason why this world is the way it is because they took your ability away to be able to own your own land. You have to live in something that was created for you. You got to live in their house. You don't get to build your own house no more. You got to go get their food. You can't go out and get your own food no more. You got to go out and work for them. You can't work for yourself no more. That is the main thing. That's the main reason they took your own will away from you already. This is the abyss. Your shit gone. You have to fight to get your own shit back. That's the only way. So the creation and the birth of a baby, it goes into a cycle. It goes from the fiery parts of you to the earthly parts of you to the airy parts of you to the watery parts of you. And then when that baby is released, it goes into the fiery part, the pain part. So when that baby is born, when you're having a baby, when you're having sex, you started off in the fiery part. And then it injects into, when that baby is being born, you start into the earthly parts, where you're giving that baby its roots. Once you go from there, you're giving that baby the ability to be able to breathe air. And then after that, you're supposed to give them the ability to breathe water. The water is not supposed to break. The water is supposed to be absorbed by the baby. When a baby is inside of his womb, a mother's womb, it can swim. That's why when you first, bring a baby into this world, they know how to swim and shit, because they're supposed to be able to know how to swim. So the creation and the birth of a baby, it goes into a cycle. It starts with the fiery parts of you to the earthly parts of you to the airy parts of you to the watery parts of you. When that baby is coming into this world and is being released from his mother into this world, you're using the fiery parts of you, the pain part. So you start off when you're having sex, that you're using the fiery part of you. Now, when that baby is being created within that womb, you're using the earthly part of you. You're grounding that baby. You're giving it its roots while it's inside of the womb. Now, when you go from the earthly part, when you're being created, you're also, after that, you've given it its ability to breathe air. And after you give it its ability to breathe air, you're supposed to give it its ability to breathe water. That's why when the baby is inside that shit, he's swimming inside that person's womb. He's already getting used to the water. Now, when that baby the water is not supposed to break inside the mother. The water is not supposed to break. It's supposed to be consumed or absorbed by the baby. That's why when they say you have 75% water in you, you're not supposed to, or you're made of 75% water. You're not supposed to be made of 75% water. It's supposed to be 100. They took that quarter out. They took the water, the last main shit. They took the water from you. It's not supposed to be 75%. It's supposed to be 100. You're supposed to be able to breathe water, air, and you're supposed to be able to do all that shit. But it was taken from you. That's the connection to the Bermuda Triangle, where the Bermuda Triangle is not supposed to be a 3. It's supposed to be 4. They took the water from you. Oh shit. So yes, the event that was caused by the Bermuda Triangle, or whatever I don't know the exact name of it, but the event that was caused by the Bermuda Triangle was the idea or the creation of a cutoff. That's why they say that we are in a globe. They cut you off from the world that's above us and the world that's under us. The world that is under us is in the water. That's why we cannot breathe water anymore. We used to be able to breathe water. Some of us used to be able to breathe water. And then some of us used to be able to fly. We can't do any of that no more. That's why they say you got fallen angels, but they never talk about the underworld. This is called the underworld, hell. Because I'm gonna get even deeper into why they call the underworld hell. But the underworld is not hell. It's just it's in the water. You get what I'm saying? It's I don't know exactly when, but I'm gonna be doing a video soon on my YouTube channel talking about the different elements of, the air, earth, water, and fire, and how it's connected to your mind, and how there's a positive to every negative to each part of it. That's the polarizing parts of each sign. The most powerful sign, though, or not the most powerful sign, the most disruptive sign, the sign that can destroy everything, is the fiery parts. There's a good part of the fiery side, and then there's a bad part of the fiery side within your mind. Anger, rage, lust, all of that kind of shit can go into the, negative or bad side of the fiery parts. And then you got bravery, courage, passion or compassion. Those can go into the good side of the fiery parts within your mind. Each one has a bad. And the last but not least, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of the I, what I mean by the I that was the why, or why I call myself a liar. I'm not a liar, but I used to be one. And I used to be one who's a lie to themselves. Because when you come into this world, already lied to. Okay, so yeah, you're a liar, but you're also not one. So the I that was the why. The I, you got to look at it as the lowercase I that was connected to the uppercase Y. I'm going to show you. All right, here we go. I'm not the best drawer, but I hope you can understand that. All right, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna explain what this is, but this is connected to your brain. It's also connected to a whole bunch of other shit too. This is the pendulum. This is what I'm talking about when I say